This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. My guest today is Marianne Steele. Hello, Marianne. How are you?
Hello, Christa. I'm fine. Thank you. It's so nice to be here with you tonight on this program.
I'm so excited to have you on my show.
Well, thank
Marianne,
you. So am I.
A few days ago, you gave me a wonderful sentence. I am here to teach about compassion, empathy, trust, and evolution of the spirit for the purpose of making the world a better place.
It's absolutely correct. It's absolutely my life purpose. It's not something that I sat down and composed. It's something that has unfolded for me throughout my experiences, and it is the essence of what I am and who I am today.
And this is what I really like. You remember, we say our station is your door to a better planet. And how can it be a better fit when you say making the world a better place and we say it's your door to a better planet? Welcome.
Thank you so much. I love that. Your door to a better planet. That's exactly what this ascension of humanity, what this level of evolution of humanity that's going on right now is what it's all about. It's about seeing that door, being aware of that door to a higher awareness of oneself and one's connection to others, and having the courage and the motivation to go through that door without fear and exchange with other entities, not only humans on this planet, but other entities existing in other parts of our universe and perhaps other universes, and about it's just growing a heart-centered base of humanity here on this planet. And that's something that, as I said, it's came to me through my experiences in this lifetime, and I just know that one step leads to the next. And when I met you, Christa, we had such a connection. We understood each other right away. It was fantastic.
And it was almost without words, as far as I remember.
Absolutely. There was just that connection. I knew that you knew what was happening already. Remember, we connected on that energy healing session. We connected so that you had the same visions that I was having during the session. I call that pretty well connected.
Yes, pretty well connected. Something like love at first sight, right?
Yes. That's beautiful. Yes, like love at first sight. Unconditional love at first sight. Yes.
Marianne, we talked a lot, and you have experienced so many things in your life. And if you don't mind, I would like to share some of your experiences with our audience. How can I tell it? Your China experience, if I may say so.
Yes, feel free to relate any of the information that I've shared with you previous to this session, and I will happily add anything that you feel is lacking. I'm open to all questions, and I'm also open to you talking about that.
I call it the China experience because it was quite a long time in your life. And before you had this experience with your family, with your parents, and finally it led you straight to the China experience. What happened during your childhood that you came to China?
It was a seemingly normal family, Irish Catholic upbringing, Catholic school, although nothing ever really actually fit. There's a lot was going on in the background of the family, and there was unfortunately quite a lot of argument, a lot of violence, a lot of the way old school child rearing techniques, let's put it that way. And yeah, it was quite uncomfortable to be in the house with my family. Although on the outside, for anyone else coming and looking in, they would have thought, oh, what a nice house, what well-dressed children, what polite family they are. And underneath it all, there was quite a bit of, like I had just said, violence and discord within the family. And eventually, my father passed away. And at the point where he passed away, I was 14 years old at the time. And I realized that there was really no reason to stick around anymore. It was much, much better for me and for especially the relationship between my mother and me that I would go and live somewhere else. And so at 14, I left my family home and went out, stayed with friends and relatives also. A kind of, I guess, early couch surfing, you might say, and somehow managed to complete my high school education. That was like on the skin of my teeth, I think you say, or yeah, and then.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. Welcome back, Marianne. We stopped
thank you.
We stopped at the point where you said you left home and visited a school.
That's correct. I left home. It was a really uncomfortable situation being there. There was also, to be quite honest, there was a lot of emotional, physical, and sexual abuse going on in and around my family, and I just couldn't be there anymore. And I went to live on my own for several years in Northern California. And you were interested in how I ended up going to China, right? Right. My earliest passion was dancing. Dancing was something that called to me, that moved me, that was my emotional release for all of the things going on in my life, the things that I had no words to express, the things that I didn't even know were dysfunctional at the time. Looking back, yes. But at that time, I was training to be a dancer. My work as a dancer had me doing choreography for musical theater groups. It had me doing small productions in the San Francisco Bay Area. There came an agent to one of the studios, saw us performing, and offered us a contract to travel to Taiwan and Hong Kong and Japan. And I took them up on that. I got a group together. We did auditions. We got a contract, and we took off for Taiwan. And at the time, I didn't know that Taiwan was under martial law, and that foreigners were not allowed to work there, let alone dance there. Finding out once we arrived that dancing itself was illegal. Because of the martial law situation, the only kind of dancing allowed was cultural dancing. And we certainly did not have a program like that. We had a cabaret dance theater type program, and we had a completely different agenda. The next uncomfortable moment arrived when we realized that we were not going to be issued work permits even after the agency promised that they would collect our passports for us and take them downtown and get us work permits. That never happened. So they collected our passports, and we never saw our passports again. We were basically, stuck. We were really stuck there. We couldn't leave.
When you look back, would you say we have been naive, or would you prefer to say we have been unexperienced? We've never heard of that.
Well, I have to say that what could not have been that naive at the time. I knew what I was getting into. I didn't know that I would be in a situation without my passport working illegally. I had previously worked in Japan as a dancer at the Crazy Horse Disco in Osaka.
Mhm.
And in that case, I was hired as an artist. I was given a proper contract and work permit and a lovely place to stay and was treated very respectfully. And that was no problem. I did know that the situation was not always as yeah, as kind as you would like to be treated. Sometimes there are elements in the gangster world of the this kind of entertainment industry overseas that but it's kept away from the artists unless you make any problems for people. You won't have trouble in that area as long as you do what you're meant to be doing. Although in Taiwan, that was quite different. There was no work permit. There was, like I said, the condition of martial law going on. And there we were with no passports, no money. And we were told to get up on the stage and completely change our show, take it from cabaret dance theater type work to of course, they wanted topless numbers. They wanted us to take everything off on the stage, and we were dumbfounded. We were shocked, and we refused to take one foot on the stage, and that started all the trouble.
My goodness, that's a big adventure. That's more uncomfortable things happening than most people experience in their whole life. How could
Yes.
you survive that?
I believe that the times that I had been in extreme abuse situations as a child, I was able to kind of separate myself from my situation. And now I can look back and say I could leave my body whenever I wanted to. And the second thing that got me through that was the fact that I was dancing. If I'd been having to do anything else, maybe I would not have survived it mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But I was having 4 times a day, I had to get up on that stage. And basically, the audience was not that very much interested in my technique. They were more interested in when my costume was going to come off. And to me, it was the 4 times that I went on stage each and every day, 7 days a week. That was a release for me. It was an outlet, and it allowed me to keep my sanity.
You said you were able finally to separate your mind and your body.
I would say that describes my earliest psychic experiences when I realized that the danger of my situation. I was by then an adult. As a child, I could just leave my body and not be present anymore for the difficult times. I call it abuse. Yes, as an adult working overseas in the situation, I was able to really connect to that part of me and control it, be able to control it. I could go on stage, I could release all my emotional sensation and feeling and discomfort through dancing. I'd come off the stage and realize my predicament again and stop panicking. I was able not to panic. My 2 partners, on the other hand, completely panicked and disappeared. They packed up their things one day, one after the other. First, the girl, I won't mention their names. There was a girl and a boy, and we were working together. First, the girl she couldn't handle it. She said, "No, I'm sorry, you guys, I can't do this." And we kept saying, "You have to stay. We're on a contract." And then one day she disappeared. And we continued to work, the other partner and the boy and me. And we worked several weeks together until he also announced that he would be right back. The old "I'll be right back." And he stepped out and I never saw him again. I was left alone on a contract that was meant for 3 people. And there I was now working as a solo. The agency was very, very, very disappointed. And they let me know that by not paying me. So I kept on dancing, and every month they would come to pay the other dancers, and they would hand me a receipt for I had to pay back their airplane tickets from my partners and pay all their hotel charges, pay all of their telephone.
So finally, you were kept there against your will. You were not free anymore.
That's true. There was a while where, I mean, I certainly could have walked away, but where? Where would I go? I had no passport. I had no money. And at one attempt we had made in the very beginning by calling it's called an institute, as because this country is Taiwan is not recognized by the United States as a country. So there's no embassy or consulate there. There's an institute
Mhm.
that issues passports. We called them, and they said, well, we can't help you, but if you do end up in jail, we'll come and visit you. And so we realized there we are. We're on our own now. So yeah, we had really, there was no other recourse but to stay and work and keep dancing, do what they say, and eventually start to get paid my salary that I should have been paid.
So finally, when I sum up, it was human trafficking.
Yes, I think you could call it that. Yes, yes. Not in the extreme brutal sense that you hear about it nowadays, but definitely in the sense that there trickery was involved, deception, and in the end, I pretty much had to do what was required of me, which wasn't always very pleasant. I didn't like some of the things that I had to do on stage, but again, I was able to connect to some other thing, leave my body and step away and just do it, walk off the stage, get dressed, go back to my hotel room and sleep. That was basically, I went from leaving my body when I was on the stage to sleeping a lot on
Mhm.
the off time. So, yeah.
It finally took several years, I remember.
I
If you should,
stayed
yep.
I stayed altogether 10 years. The first part of it, I was in that situation with no passport, no money, no nothing. But I learned so much about how to be with people who were in control of me throughout my entire lifetime. I was fairly manipulative, and I could save my skin, so to speak. I was not subjected to brutality or any other, violent or abusive situations in that scene. I was able to work my way out. I basically bought myself back. And by then I had made a lot of friends, and I even found a house, got married to a really wonderful man, and had a life there for another several years. Not
That's
as a dancer,
interesting.
though.
So you could turn around a bit your fate and what you all experienced. If you had to sum up that within 40, 50 seconds, what would you say was your greatest result from all these times?
The greatest result was that I realized that I was unable to trust anyone. Anyone. No, I couldn't trust the people I worked for. I got married, but I really never trusted my husband at the time. And what hit me as I left that country was that I did not even trust myself. And so trust became the major issue, the major learning experience, or the awakening of that time. Not that I was suddenly trusting everybody and myself, but that was the one thing that stood out to me, was that I do not trust anyone. So how could I possibly ever find a good relationship or a good situation in my life? So that was the beginning of a long, long journey till right where I
Hard
am right
lesson.
now. Hard,
Hard
yes.
lesson that you learned. Thank you for the moment.
You're welcome.
I'm Christa Nehls, and we will be right back after this commercial break. You are listening to the TellUS radio show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. Marianne, you're my wonderful guest today. Welcome back. I'm so excited sharing with you a part of your life and especially all the experiences of your life. Thank you for joining me.
Well, you're welcome. It's really great to be here.
Marianne, you said your greatest lesson from a long experience, almost the first 30 years of your life, I roughly counted, was that you couldn't trust anybody anymore. This is a hard lesson.
Yes, I think that most people perhaps are born with a trusting nature, or they have had experiences in their life that have never challenged that point of view. My personal experiences were extremely challenging in that area of trust, not trusting, losing trust in my caregivers because I was put into abusive, emotional and sexual abusive situations by people who were supposed to be looking after me or at least caring what happened to me. And then it brought me to a realization. This didn't happen straight away when I hit 30, unfortunately. When I hit 30, my whole life blew up over there in Taiwan. I I went from having a full-time job in a house and a normal scene. I even had a washer and a dryer, which is quite something in a country like that. Anyway, there was a lot of like normality around me, just like in the situation I grew up in. Everything looks okay on the outside, but on the inside, everything is complete turmoil. And there was no basis, no solid ground to really feel that it was going to hold me up. I ended up quitting that job, leaving the country, dumping everything, and got on a plane to Germany.
And your daughter?
My daughter was born in Taiwan. She's a wonderful, wonderful human being. She's one of the reasons that this awakening occurred. I believe, now it's so perfect. Today's Mother's Day. It is that when you look into the face of your own child, you see something. You wake up a sleeping giant inside of you. There's an animal that comes out, that mother bear image that is often used. There's that I would take out my own kidneys with a wooden spoon kind of, I will protect you. I will protect you. I will do anything to protect you. When I realized that that was how I, as a parent, looked at my child, it was quite shocking to realize that that was not part of my experience. That I realized as a child, nobody would have done that. Perhaps they would have, but from my perspective as a child, I never would have thought anyone would have gone across the room, to see if I was okay. So yeah, my daughter, wonderful. My wonderful daughter, when I divorced in Taiwan, the situation there is that the father's family keeps the children and the mother does not get rights to see the children or do anything. Basically, you just get to walk out the door and leave everything. With the clothes on your back, you get to go. And that was that situation that went on for about 5 years. I left the country thinking I had no idea where I was going or where I was going to end up. I knew I was heading towards Germany, going to be in Germany. And I thought it would be better for her to be in the care of her large Chinese family. I would not recommend this to any mother ever. It's not a solution. It's not a good idea. It was quite difficult because I didn't make the decision to stay with her. I made the decision to leave and hope that someone else would look after her because I was incapable of it. I didn't know how to protect another person, but I had that instinct inside me. This perspective has changed a lot. It has grown into again, that awakening, that awareness of connection to another person on that deep, deep level that enabled me to look for a solution. First, to recognize that there was a problem, and then to look for a solution to the problem of why I could not connect, commit, or trust any other human being on this planet. So having a child is a good way to get that going in anyone's life, I think. I hope. I am.
Is
Yes.
is this the moment where your motto was coming from? Reawaken your power and live your inspired life?
This could have been. I would say that that motto came out a lot later, because that is exactly what did happen. I was able to reawaken through my studies of um, shiatsu and Chinese medicine, and to realize that there is this spiritual and emotional connection that we have based on our experiences and our emotional um, emotional position that we take in our life. And Chinese medicine brought me into a deeper awareness of that, and to look at it and see that, yeah, here is that door. That door, here it is, the doorway to a better planet, to a better me. And the only way I could, try to help and be a good person on this planet was to go through that door, to be courageous enough to say, girl, you're a mess, you're a big, awful mess, and you better do something about it, or it's going to do something about you, basically. And yeah.
And in the meantime, I know you quite a bit, and I know that your daughter is around. I know that you started to live an entirely new life. I learned that you even helped soldiers to overcome their traumas from the war.
Yes. After I qualified in Germany as a shiatsu practitioner, I got a good contract with the military base here in Heidelberg with the U.S. Army, and they gave me a room, and they did all my advertising. I opened shop basically as an independent contractor on a U.S. Army base, and I found that when I was dealing with this was right at 2003, the invasion of Iraq was going on, so everybody was at the highest level of stress and tension, and fear was just everywhere. It wasn't like my training during shiatsu and body work was everyone was in a calm and basically good mood, and here everyone was in a completely stressed out and panic mode basically, but trying not to show it. They turned out to be, for me, another doorway opened where they were a reflection. Their situation was a reflection of my own situation. Although I was never in the military, or I never had any kind of experience like they have had in a conflict area, in a conflict zone, their level of trying to hold down the trauma, hold down the fear, hold down the sense of there's no ground beneath me, is masked over. With them, they had their uniforms and their technique and their duty and their loyalty, and yet they still had a lot of personal, human, emotional stuff going on that wasn't able to be expressed openly. And I worked with them for 14 years. Since 2003, I started with them, and I just finished working on with the military, and it had a huge, huge, huge effect on how I went further with my personal development. I would not have really taken the steps that I took to search out therapy for myself and to make huge changes. This kind of work in Chinese medicine and shiatsu is based on Chinese medicine. Shiatsu is a form of Japanese body work. It means finger pressure or acupressure, and it's also brings one closer to the energetic process of humans and their connection to the universe. And the human experience is full of ups and downs, full of polarities, full of the expressed in Chinese medicine as a yin and yang and the positive and negative aspects. But when working with it for over so many years with these men and women, either whether they were in the military or in my private practice as civilians, they realizing that there's that space in between the polarities of yin and yang, of healthy and sick, of, messed up and totally imbalanced. First, discovering balance doesn't exist. There's always a searching for a balance. So being in that vulnerable position of between the polarities, between the dark and the light, was also a greater doorway, the next doorway, so to speak, where it was take it now, look in here, look between this dark and this light, and
Okay.
go further.
One question. It's a very intimate question. Was there ever a moment when you went into a dark room to cry silent tears?
I howled loud screams. I'm not much of a silent crier. If I'm going to cry, I howl it out. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. This much of this, my work, my studies, and my work in becoming an Asian bodywork therapist through study of Chinese medicine and shiatsu, that was a catalyst for me to release my own things that were going on with me. And there were certainly times where I cried not only for my clients, but for myself, and definitely, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, got that. Later on, I want to talk a bit more about your things you're doing today, about reconnective healing. This is a very interesting topic I learned from you, and I experienced it together with you, and I'm very curious to live with that.
Well, I'd be happy to share my experience with you, Christa.
Thank you so much, and we'll have our next break. I'm Christa Nehls, and we will be right back after this commercial break. You are listening to the TellUS radio show on the X Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world. There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the 4 corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
This is the TellUS radio show, and I'm your host, Christa Nehls. We are back with Marianne Steele. Marianne, welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
In this session, I want to talk with you about 2 sessions I had with you. One was with the reconnective healing, and the last one I joined was I'm not able to phrase it in a different way. It was a kind of channeling.
Yes, that's correct. It was a channeling session. Yes.
Let's start with the reconnective healing. It was for me an interesting experience because I was lying there. You were around. You didn't touch me at all, but I felt that you were always around. I was exactly aware where you were, and I felt that I was kind of leaving that room and moving into other spheres, like into the universe, into the clouds. I couldn't name that exactly,
It's beautiful the way you describe that, Krista. What's really happening, I believe, is that you are moving deeper into yourself. You're discovering the innate intelligence, the deeper voice, the real voice, the true voice, your heart voice that has been speaking to you since aeon, since forever and ever and ever, since before you were born. It's your soul voice. And that's what happens during this reconnective healing sessions. This is the reconnective healing modality that is presented by Dr. Eric Pearl. And I'm not a presenter of this healing modality. I'm a practitioner of it. So as I did my training, I was also really fascinated by the changes, the physical changes, the things that you'll notice. They're called registers, the fluttery eyelids, a sense of muscle movement, involuntary muscle movement, or this, as you described, sensation of floating in space. And now, after many years of being a practitioner of this form of energy healing, off the body healing, it's come around to let's call it the last door number 3. Are we at door number 3? I think so. We've been through a few doors by now. That is a door opened, let's say, another door opened when I was doing this kind of work. I would hear things from people who said to me, "What, did somebody else come into the room while you were doing?" I thought there was someone else here. And I said, "Well, no, it's just you and me. But tell me more." And eventually I started seeing having a sensation of other people coming into the room. What's the pinnacle of the experience that I had after practicing reconnective healing? Sure, everyone felt quite nice and relaxed and energized, and their life went on with a bit more light and energy and trust in themselves. And what the one experience that occurred was I actually saw with my own eyes another entity. I thought I was working outside in the sunshine with my client, and I thought, well, maybe the sun is too hot for me today. Okay, so we finished the session. I went home and I thought, I'll just stay out of the sun, for the rest of the day. I was sitting in my room, and this entity comes to me again, presents himself as in a military uniform. Maybe not odd, since my connection was so strong with military. Spirit came to me, a very visual, a very audible spirit, and came to me presenting himself in a way that I could be comfortable with, if you could say you could be comfortable at all with a spirit showing themselves to you. Okay, I think he was doing his best. Gave me a lesson in phonics, like how to pronounce his name, and then told me that he was kind of disappointed that I hadn't passed on a message. And I thought, oh, yay. I went to my husband. I said, "Oh, I don't know. I think something's I may be losing my mind." And that was the first experience. I have written about this in my blog, Smoky Juicy Angels, because it's such a process of what happened. That was the very first experience. This went on, and now I have a very open line to non-physical entities. They come, we communicate, and I've channel this other entities, and I write about it in my blog, Smoky Juicy Angels at wordpress.com, and there is the whole story is there, how that happened. And it's now I had to step back from my body work because I was telling people, look, I might start talking in a weird language or a weird expression of language, not like I usually talk, or I might have some things to say to you that you might feel shocked about. So I stepped away from it for a while, and now I just work with spirit.
Yes, I remember that one day you came and said, okay, I think I have to stop my Qigong group
Yes.
because I'm talking some things and these people over there do not understand me anymore. And I was kind of thrilled when I heard that and thought, oh my God, she is changing from the body work to the spiritual work. And this is a real kind of awakening then.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to me. It makes me so glad to be alive. I've learned to find my ground, my balance, my connection to the universe, with the universe, and the sensation and the exquisite joy of experiencing our interconnectedness, that we are all one energy. There is no separation between us. We just look a little different, maybe sound a little different, but each and every one of us is an expression of source, God, energy, and we can all open our hearts and our ears and eyes and our lives to communication with spirit on that level. That's here what I'm now want to express to people, that everyone can do this. Everyone can. This awakening is happening. The acceleration of the evolution of the human spirit is going fast. It's going really fast, and it's just the most beautiful ride to be on.
I think we will do sometimes another session and talk about the knowledge we get from the universe and back from all over the times that ever had happened during the eons. And at the moment, I want to stay with one experience you helped me to get into, and this was the very last one we had as a session. And you finally said to me, "Oh my goodness, they're standing 10 or 12 people around, and they have cylinders on their head, and they are looking very formal, and they are all nodding and telling, yes, Christa, you are on the right way." And then you stopped and said, "Yes, yes, everything is okay." And later you explained me, "Oh, there was someone looking around, was taking care of me." And then I asked you, "Who is that on my left side? A small person."
Yes, I remember that. Yes, yes, that was a healing guide. Look, Krista, first of all, you have an entourage. Yeah, there's it's just not, because you have an entourage is like a group of people, like, yeah, a whole set of spirits are with you, so many, and lovely souls as well. They had a sense of seriousness in their appearance, and they also had a sense of deep love for you, and deep support of you. And there was a crowd. It was crowded in here. There was a lot of action, and the small spirit, the small blue, I believe it is an element or an expression of the Elohim. The Elohim made themselves very clear to me, and they are the smoky, juicy angels, because we were in communication, and they expressed themselves to me. They say, read the blog, you'll see why. They say, we know you enjoy exotic things, so we'll come as a short lady with tattoos and slanted eyes, and be very exotic, so
Right.
you can say something exciting. But the there was a lot of support for you. There is a lot of support for you, Krista. Really a lot. Yeah.
Yes, when I got back into that situation just a few moments ago, and I felt that again, I feel the deep calmness inside, and I felt secure and safe, and I knew, okay, everything is moving forward into the right direction, and everything is wonderful and okay. Marianne, we are almost close to the end, and I always love to have some final words of my interview partner. Could you sum up your life in 1 minute?
I'm so glad I'm here. That's it. I'm so glad I'm here. It's yeah. It's about joy. It just be the joy. Just be the love. I'm so glad I'm here.
It's just to be, and to be human, and to experience all and everything that's around, and to be free and self-determined with a lot of self-esteem.
Oh, that's beautifully put, Krista. I like that.
Yes.
That's nice.
That's what I said. I think we know each other for quite a long time, even longer than we can imagine. It's not only in this lifetime, it's much longer. It's incredible.
Yes, I think so too. I do too. Yeah, there's that easy comfortable feeling being around you for sure. For sure.
Marianne, thank you, thank you, thank you for today. We will have another talk next time.
Okay.
Join me.
Thank you so much, Christa.
Join me, Christa Nehls, next week on the TellUS radio show on the X Zone Broadcast Network on www.xzbn.net.